Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys Spawn Universe King Spider. Once again, another Halloween AF figure in February. Maybe February is the most frightening time of the year, because what is more terrifying than disappointing your girlfriend on Valentine's Day, right? Right? Question mark. You know what's even worse than that is the fact that I don't have a top 10 of 2022 video yet. Or top whatever, I suppose. But who cares about all that? Before we get into the meat and taters of this review, kindly moving Mr. Spider out of the way here. Take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. Look at that. Freaking awesome art, man. But unfortunately, you know what we do with packaging around here. Woo! Toss it to the side because we don't need none of that up in here. Takes up too much room. I just cleared out a mess of boxes in my toy room slash bedroom slash whatever you want to call it room. And yeah, the result is astounding. There is so much real estate in here now because I ditched all those boxes, mostly Super 7 boxes, which take up a crap ton of real estate. Kept the Figura Obscura 4 Horsemen boxes though. Those are too nice to toss. But that said, as far as this guy's accessories are concerned, he does come with a pair of alternate hands. He's got a fist hand and he's got a grip hand, both of which are useful, particularly for this crazy ball and chain weapon. You know, you could put the grip hand on here. Now I had to heat mine up to get it to actually wrap around here in a way that made sense. I believe it's supposed to go around here somewhere. And it's a much more snug fit when this is attached to the figure. But there you go. Something like that. But I will tell you, this thing was a pain in the nuts to get on this guy. His arm has all these little jagged spikes on it, and they did not want to allow this thing to slide on there smoothly. So maybe use a little bit of heat when you're trying to get that on. But to save you the agony of watching me struggle to put that thing on, we're just going to omit that completely and bypass it, and you'll see him with it during final thoughts. That said, he also comes with this little base accessory, which we've been seeing a lot with these Spawn Universe figures. I kind of feel like Nightmare Spawn would have benefited more from one of these, but we got one with this guy, and we got one with Plague, who also had loose feet. But I can thankfully say that this guy does not only have really tight ankle joints, but is a sleeper hit. I really like this figure, even though I don't know who the Sam Heck is freaking King Spider. I heard he gets cucked out on a regular basis. I mean, just look at him. He looks like the type of dude who would get cucked out on a regular basis. In the Spawn universe, in the Marvel universe, he'd probably be cucking other people out. Like Captain America, Iron Man, they're probably no match for the King Spider. I don't know about Marvel's Spider character, though. What's his name? Is it Man Spider? Oh wait, we haven't got one of those yet because we're too busy getting lame our Snake Men and X-Men characters. But enough Hasbro bashing for one video, right? He does come with a stand, the McFarlane toy stand, to be exact. And this guy is freaking awesome. This dude rocks. I love this figure. I will say his hips are a little loose for my liking, but they came out the box that way, so it is what it is. It's fine. Fine. He can stand just fine. Like, this guy's a champ. He ain't falling down. Like, he's freaking solid, dude. And the anatomy on this guy, look at this dude. He's built like a brick sheet house. Like, he is freaking jacked. I don't know, man. I might have to do a top underrated figures of the year, because this guy and Haunt are definitely part of that list. Because Haunt, while he has his issues, I do really like that figure, even though he hasn't been really talked about that much since he's come out. I think he is an underrated figure. But I also like Haunt more than King Spider, most because I'm more familiar with him. and I've wanted a figure of him for several years now. Whereas King Spider, I don't know who the heck this guy is. I thought he was a Spider-Man ripoff. See, I do know who I'm talking about. But as far as articulation on a King Spider is concerned, you can look up a little bit, you can look down a little bit. It does have a bit of tilt, rotation side to side. A face sculpt that would terrify my aunt if she saw it in real life. It's a spider latched around his face. Yeah. That said, it also looks like he's got the same thing going on his torso. It looks like there's some spider legs wrapped around him here, which, yeah, my aunt would absolutely hate this figure. My Aunt Tammy. I mean, not my Aunt Kelly or my Aunt Jody in Warrensburg or anything, but my Aunt Tammy, no, she is not a spider person. Neither is my Aunt Connie, my mom's side, although she's more against Daddy Longlegs as opposed to something like this, but still. That said, his shoulders go out to the side, back down, they rotate all the way around. A little bit loose on the rotation, but not bad. Does have a bicep twist, double elbow, works fine. You actually get a lot out of just the single. So I can't get that top elbow to move. Oh, there we go. I will say, these elbows are a little chunky. They could be a little bit cleaner, but that's really my only major gripe with this guy, other than that baseball thing being a pain in the butt. He does have the sculpted wrist balls that work fine. His hands pop off fine. He's got really good claw sculpt. Look at that. They don't look like they have arthritis either. So it is possible to have a really cool claw sculpt and not make it look like your hands are, I don't know, broken in 50 different places like Doctor Strange. It's astounding. Like, they give this guy really good claw hands, and then, you know, other characters get like super overdone and kind of painful looking hands. That said, his torso can kick back that far, kick forward not that far, so he's got some crunch a little bit. Not too floppy, kind of, sort of, but he doesn't have, you know, a bunch of stuff going on, so it's fine. His hips kick forward not that far, kind of kick out due to the diaper, which could be cut a little higher, I guess. They can kick out. Back down. He's got a thigh cut that does work, but mostly when it's out. He's got a double knee. Gives you all the range you could possibly want. Not too ugly in the knee. No rotation in the boot that I can find. His feet appear to be lined up straight, so I don't believe they're supposed to move. But I'm very surprised they did not give him a boot cut. Out of all times to not have a boot cut is on this guy. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here. So I'm just going to say he doesn't have one. He does have a rocker, however. Kind of got to push the foot around to get it to work, but it does work. Really tight ankles. I like that. I like that a lot. If you're familiar with like Bane and Frankenstein, it's kind of like those. Even the Killer Croc. He does have toe joints as well, which are both tight. Neutral. And then, of course, he has the big holes at the bottom of the feet for the hockey puck display stand. So, yeah, a definite win. I definitely like this guy quite a bit. Is he top 10 of the year? Maybe not, but he's definitely an underdog of the year for show. Faux show. I really like this guy, man. He's cool. He looks cool. He's fun to pose. And that's what it's all about, man. I just want to have fun with my toys, and this guy is definitely fun. Do I like him more than Haunt? I don't know. That element of surprise definitely gives him some bonus points, I must admit, because I didn't think this guy was going to be much of crap. But the sculpt on this dude, on top of the fact that he's got like some of the best ankle joints in McFarlane Toys history as of late, definitely speaks leaps and bounds for how good this figure is. Like, it is insultingly good how this figure is. for a character that nobody asked for, they sure as heck made sure that they don't have to make another one. That said, the hips are still a little loose. Those could have been a little tighter. But I think for what it is, it's a great figure. If you like this character, if you like Spawn, if you just like cool looking, bad arse looking mofos, then this is definitely a must have. That said, anyone else think he kind of looks like Dutch from Youngblood? That gray and black character? He had like a crazy shield and a sword that stuck out of his hand wrong. I don't know. That was a weird 90s figure to say the very least. From old school McFarlane toys back when they were kind of staction-y and whatnot. But with that being said, before this review drags out any longer than it already has, let's now move on and take a look how this guy stacks up alongside our two regulars, just to keep things short and sweet as usual. And as promised, here's good old King Spider alongside our two regulars, the Mythical Eaton's Brother Mandibulus, the 11th Spawn, who's about, I want to say, neck and neck with the King Spider here. Even though Al Simmons may not be fond of the King Spider, I sure as heck am, man. I think he needs to be cut some slack. He needs a break, dude. Like, Spawn, don't kill him. He's a good toy. You want to kill somebody, kill a bad toy. Let me get a Marvel Legends out here for you to kill. But jokes aside, with all that being said, let's now move on and wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and much like the Haunt figure from this Spawn Universe line, I think good old King Spider here may be a contender for Underdog of the Year, because I went into this with relatively low expectations since I had no idea who this character was or what he was about, and came out really liking this figure. Aside from the hips not being as tight as I would like, that's probably just limited to my figure, and once again, it's my figure. More than likely going to have more than one thing wrong with it, and considering the fact that this is, good enough, I'll take that as a win, because I do really enjoy this figure, much like I did the Haunt figure. And while I had probably higher expectations for Haunt, since I was somewhat familiar with that character, known him for a while, and have wanted a figure of him for a while, this guy didn't have any of that going for him. So there were no expectations to exceed, but also none to let down. And I have to say, I'm very happy that I picked this guy up when I did. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please feel free to do all the YouTube rigmarole, as well as hit me up over on Instagram at Overlord Productions. If you ever want to talk toys or anything in particular, that's the #1 best way to get a hold of yours truly. That said, as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when, if I had one gripe with this figure, that freaking Morningstar weapon of his was a total pain in the balls to get positioned right. That said, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.